Good morning. Happy Thursday, January 28th. Um, Super cold out this morning, but my belly is full of the greatest pizza ever made, and it comes from a Midwestern gas station. That's right. I only say that slightly sarcastically. One of my favorite pizzas. I ordered a Casey's taco pizza. Casey's a chain of gas stations here in the Midwest. Um, I uh, I went through a phase like my wife left for Florida for 2 weeks last Monday, and I kind of like binge. I like binge eat the first 2 days, like junk food, pizza, like, and after a couple days, it's like I need to eat healthy. So I've gone through that phase, and now I'm kind of like back to normal. So the first couple days, it was like just a bunch of crap. Texas car dude way early. It's after 7:15. This is like kind of like my wheelhouse start time, like 7:15, 7:20. I try to be 7:15, but sometimes I'm just super slow in the morning. So Herman, what's up? Good morning. Brad, good morning. Um, so I eat the junk food first couple days, and then I kind of go into like detox mode where the next like 3 days it's salads and salmon and um, you know, little healthier eating. Um, and then I kind of like balance it out. Second week is kind of like their junk food day, good day, normal day, whatever. So yesterday, I was feeling like, okay, she returns. I pick her up from the airport Monday. So last night, Wednesday, okay, let's do a Casey's taco pizza. It's wrestling night. AEW's on. Eat some taco pizza. So I ordered a Casey's taco pizza, which is I grew up in a really small town in the Midwest in Illinois. 800 people in town. No stoplights. We had to go 12 miles to the nearest Walmart or see a stoplight. There was not a Casey's in our town, but there was one 5 miles away in the town next to us, 5 miles away. So that was like a delicacy, a treat. Like on Friday nights, my mom worked in the city on the other side of the small town where Casey's was in next to us. So she would pick up like a Casey's taco pizza, and that was like our Friday night special. And then like in high school, I went through a phase where me and my friends would get like, back in the day, they made barbecue pizza, which was freaking amazing on a pizza. And it was, I miss it so much. They don't have it anymore. And I know there's a bunch of people, whenever pizza, it's a given that a couple people are going to say they need to bring back the barbecue pizza. I totally agree. I had gone when I started ordering the Casey's pizzas again, like 2 years ago. I hadn't had one in probably 10 years. And that I was looking for the barbecue pizza. I couldn't find it because they don't make it. George, good morning. Yeah, Brad, it's great to see you a little more chipper. I noticed Monday night you had a lot more energy than what you did Monday morning. So bouncing back, I like it. Today, I wanted to talk about eBay feedback. I ran into a really annoying situation yesterday, and I do from time to time. So basically, eBay and the feedback system, essentially you're a business. If you're selling on eBay, even though if it's a hobby and you're only selling like random stuff from your basement a couple times a year, eBay basically treats every seller as its own small business. And I had a really annoying situation about 5 or 6 years ago. It basically destroyed my seller ratings. What happened was a buyer bought. I worked in radio for like 12 years. We had actually sold one of our radio groups, and we basically cleaned out the station, and like a lot of stuff was going in the dumpster. We had a whole filing cabinet of promotional CDs that record companies would send to the radio station. Good morning. First time watching live. Awesome. Welcome. Hopefully I don't bore you and you come back. So I worked in a radio station, and we sold it, and we had all these promotional CDs from the record companies, and we're talking like 80s and 90s. So like late 80s, early 90s was a majority of what these were. And we were like just clearing the shelves and dumping them in garbage bags and throwing them in the dumpster. So I start going through, Zach, what's up? Good morning. I start going through, and there's like some decent, like I think Poison Unskinny Bop was like the first one I saw, and it's like, I cannot throw this away. Unskinny Bop is like one of my all-time faves. So I salvaged Unskinny Bop. I'm a big hair metal fan from like that genre. I pulled a bunch of, you know, others like it. Then there was CDs like Madonna. Mark Hoyle's with us. So Mark, you'll like this. I'm talking music. So Mark, if you're just joining me, I worked in radio, and we sold our radio group it was a 3-station group that I worked at. And we had a huge cabinet of promotional CDs that record companies sent radio stations from like the 80s and 90s. And we were like clearing the shelves, putting them in big garbage bags and throwing them out. So I'm like salvaging and saving some. And, you know, so I'm pulling like the hair metal, and then I start seeing Madonna, Michael Jackson, you know, some of the song, Tom Petty, some songs and artists that I really liked from the early 90s. So I basically took a garbage bag home of these promotional CDs. Fast forward a few years, I went to sell a bunch of them in a lot, and I had numerous people ask me about, will I sell the Michael Jackson on its own? It had 0 bids, and I don't do this, but there were no bids, and I decided to take the auction down. I comped it out that Michael Jackson, it was Jam with Michael Jordan on the cover, sells for like $200. And I ended up selling it for like $200. I sold a Madonna for like 75. I sold some others for 25, 50. So what happened with the unfortunate instance was I had a bunch left over, you know, like 25 or 30, and I was selling them like 99 cents on eBay. And I had a guy buy like 15 or 20 of them. And what happened was, it was my bad. I did not package them properly. So basically the jewel cases, which were not in good shape anyway, but the jewel cases like broke and cracked, and it was kind of a mess. So that part's on me. The actual CDs weren't damaged at all, weren't scratched or anything. But the guy wanted like a partial refund and didn't want to return them. He just wanted a refund for the damage. And I'm like, no, I'll give you a full refund and you send me the CDs back. And so we had a bet, and he started calling me name, and it was really bad. eBay gets involved, basically rules in their favor. He leaves me a negative on every single transaction, and there was probably 12 of them, and it killed my user status. And so this was like 2014, and so then I had to create like a new. It actually, like, I just stopped selling on eBay for a couple of years because of this. And so my current username, I think I created in 2015 or 20. Yeah, it must have been 2015 because I took about a year off. So that's why my new seller account is new, because of this unfortunate feedback situation. Okay. So I had a situation yesterday, where I had a guy a couple weeks ago, actually a week ago, it was on the 20th, reach out, and he's a repeat customer, and he's been buying like 70s basketball singles from me, and probably 3 or 4 successful transactions. He opens up a claim, and it surprised me because he's a repeat customer. Usually the repeat customers will just like say, hey, send you a message. They'll say, hey, I haven't got this yet. You know, I know the mail's running slow. So this guy just opens up a non-receipt claim, and he adds a note. I'm trying to be patient, but this card is like a week late. So I'm like, cool. So the next day, I issued a refund like right away. He opened it up like on the night of the 20th. The next day, send him the refund. He's since bought a couple more cards. I think he bought a card last week, which would have been, he bought a card like shortly after he opened that claim. And then he bought another card this week. And he leaves me a negative feedback yesterday. And his feedback was, had to open a case to even get a refund. And I'm like, you didn't message me and you opened the case and I sent you an immediate refund. So I sent him a message and, I asked him, I said, hey, what's, you opened a claim and I offered a refund right away. And so he sends me this long message. And so this is named this title of the video, Don't Hate the Game, Hate the Player, because it's not the eBay feedback system that's broke. It's just people using it's the users that, it's annoying for me as a seller because this like affects my sales, having a negative feedback when it's not even, it looked one day and saw a refund with nothing explaining why. And then he goes into about his psycho ex who burned his house down. He lost his collection. He's trying to replace cards that he purchased as a child. I have very limited funds and every card is a passion project on my part. So when I hear nothing from the seller as to why one of the cards I am spending my limited funds on, it kind of bothers me. So this confused me. And I communicated right away by giving the refund. So his response opened a claim with eBay. It must be some automated thing they are doing now. And the main reason as a seller, I abandoned eBay many years ago. The refund was a total surprise for me. And now that you say I have opened a claim is about as surprising, except I do know how the site can do things like that. So at this point, I went back into my resolution center and I captured a screenshot of not only the claim that was open, not automatically by eBay, because there's a note with his language that says, let me get to my sent folder. So his claim, I sent, circled the note. The buyer didn't receive the item. Buyer requested the item. The message trying, and still have not received it. Do you have tracking for this item? It's a 99-cent card, free shipping. No, there's no tracking. So I responded and said, you didn't write that note, ? With the screenshot. And he did not reply. So Brad, yes. I'm super annoyed. And he's not altering the negative feedback. The one card, so the card he ordered last week has already been shipped. The card he ordered yesterday, or what's today, Tuesday, I shipped it last night with PW tracking. So the 1 ounce, 51 cents. Normally my postage is 38 cents. So I spent an extra 13 cents and, I'm going to block him today. So, he can find somewhere else to buy his 78-79 Topps basketball, that his psycho ex burned. So, don't hate the game, hate the player. It's not eBay's feedback system that's broke. It's the players. The players are broke. George says this is must-watch TV, but your internet service isn't doing it justice. I'm sorry, I saw the message. I don't know how it's doing, but every once in a while I get a message that says your connection sucks, basically. So I apologize. Brad asks, so I do have an update on the PWE printing. So yesterday I dabbled with it a little more. I did try it. I had a few like 6-card and 8-card lots that were 99 cents. And with my discount, it's one of those where it's like 6 cards. Sometimes I will send PWE, but I really like to keep it at 5 and under. So when I get those orders of 6 cards, so it's what, $5.94 minus 60 cents. So you're talking 534. You know, bubble mailer is going to be like 3 something. So it's super minimal profit. So I'd rather sell like 2 or 3 cards PWE than 6 cards, because then I have that conundrum. So anyway, so now this opens up the door with, you know, they say the 15 cards basically under 1/4 of an inch. So I tried it out with a couple different small lots that sold. One was a 6-card lot. One I think was an 8-card lot. So basically what I did was I put the cards in thick top loaders. So I think I was able to get 6 or 8 cards in one of those thick top loaders. Put those in. I am printing the PWE tracking labels out on my regular printer and taping them to the envelope. The default setting is like perfect for, I don't have one next to me, but it's perfect for the standard number 10 envelope. I did switch out labels. So I use my thermal printer for PWE, since a bulk of my shipments are PWE. So I just use the basically the label size and print those out. I did buy the larger. So I ordered a bunch of these from Amazon. These are 2.5 by 4 inch labels. So this size, which are the perfect size. So I'm actually going to use these from now on instead of the smaller label. The small label, based on like the default settings in eBay and the printer settings, prints too small. And I actually had a couple returned because they couldn't read the address on those labels. So I attempted last night. So I tried experiment with the lots, the 6 and 8 card lots. So we'll see how that goes. And then I tried printing one out. It was probably for the schmo that left me the negative feedback. I tried it with those 2.5 by 4 inch labels. They seem to be large enough labels to print the PWE tracking barcode and everything that goes on it if it's in landscape. But I'm still trying to figure out excuse me, I'm still trying to figure out how to adjust it, because I think it's printing on portrait. So if it was in landscape, I think it would be fine, but on portrait it's just too small. I had a label somewhere. I threw it on the floor. So I had a label, but I need to play with it a little bit more. Brad's handwriting PWE. I was handwriting PWE up until a month ago, and let me tell you, the savings in time is amazing. Now, if you're only shipping a few a day, you're not going to see it as much. But once you scale up, and I know, Brad, you're going to be scaling up, so maybe not now is the time to invest in a thermal printer, but down the road, once your volume picks up and you're doing, you know, more than a dozen a day, definitely, because that's where I'm seeing it the most. It's not the actual like bubble mailer. It's not the bubble mailer cutting and taping. It's annoying. But with me, my bubble mailer shipments, you know, I'm doing a handful a day. You know, not too many, you know, maybe on average 3, 4. So it, you know, 3 or 4, it's, you know, a few extra seconds, but sending 50 PWEs per day, that handwriting is, you know, I realize how much time, because when you're actually doing it and you're getting into a rhythm, and, you know, you can look and write fast at the same time, you don't think of it. But then once you just click print in the shipping label area where it just prints the address for the person, and the thermal printer just spits it out in like 0.5 seconds. As you're like what I do is, so I've got my blue tape, my top loader, my pieces of cardboard. So I use these, like I recycle postage boxes that I get. and just cut these up as backing. And, you know, I'm cutting a piece of that out, taping it with the blue painter's tape, and, you know, I'm clicking print. It's printing. Boom, boom, boom. It's so fast. It's awesome. I definitely recommend it if you're doing any type of volume. George says hobby boxes of Series 1 trading at 140 per. Yeah, it was 120. I think Brad got his at 110 or 120, and Herman, I think Herman and Brad both ordered theirs on pre-order in that range. And I'm like, it's a little too much for Series 1 for me. I'm gonna hope for blasters at retail, which I saw a picture this week of one of the guys that's goes to the Targets here, and there were 50 people. So I don't know if I'm gonna get any retail, because I'm not standing in line with 50 people waiting for some blasters of Topps flagship. Waiting for my first order so I can figure out if I can reformat and use my 2x7 thermal. So yeah, so that's the exact situation I'm in with the labels. There's some reformatting I've followed. There's like 6 different threads on the Blowout forums for this. Probably more than that, because I think there's one in like each sport category. I know there's one in basketball. There's one in the baseball category. There's one in the eBay ComC category. There's like 6 in the eBay ComC category. And I think some of the complaints about it have been reformatting. So I think we're definitely going to have to reformat somehow. I just haven't figured it out. I'm still like learning. I've had my thermal for a month, and I'm still like trying to figure things out. Yes, somebody reached out and told me about the retail boxes. Where are those retail boxes? I think Herman sent me a message about that. Brad says it is going to go higher. Oh, I know. It will, because we're a week out. So if it's 140 now, I think it'll be 150, 155 next week. And depending on the checklist is probably going to be coming out here soon. Yeah, it's definitely going to go up probably another $20. Herman can tell you. Okay. Yeah, I'll look around for that. Oh, I think he did tell me. It's a card shop down there. I think he did tell me. Much better off with retail if you can get it at that price. Absolutely. That's why I stopped buying Bowman Hobby in 2018. The hobby box prices were just insane. And I could go to Walmart. This is back before people were waiting for the card vendor. I could go and buy all the Bowman I wanted, and I've got rows and rows, and I go back and like I'm like a kid in a candy store going back through like some of these old Bowman products and finding first Bowman chromes of some of these guys, and it's like I'm giddy like a school child, you know, finding some of these chrome, because I was buying so much retail that I've got 5,000 count boxes of Bowman that I just kind of sit on. So yeah, I'm not gonna get, that's not gonna happen anymore with the retail prices. Makes no sense why the product Topps prints the most yearly is at this. Yeah. I had a feeling it would be. This is going to be a crazy year. This is going to be, we thought 2020 was crazy in the hobby. 2021 is going to be just a wild, get ready, put your seatbelts on. It's going to be a wild ride in 2021. So I've got to get running. Thanks so much. We had some great chat. Thank you so much. Back on, I know I'm kind of here and there on timing on this. I try to be 7:15 is the time I aim for. I'm typically late. I'm usually coming on at 7:20, but I do try to go live at 7:15. I think yesterday I was on like 10 minutes early. So between 7 and 7:15 is the time I shoot for. 7:20 is typically when I do go live. So thanks so much. 1millioncubs.com is the website. 99centcards.com is the eBay store. Brad, check him out. He's going to be live in a few minutes on his channel, Texas Card Dude. Thanks so much for watching, and have a great Thursday.